Huang Sai Lan Yegyun is Mansok. Now, this is our company's fermentation room. It's the process that I'm ordering to make now. Me. I took a picture and now it looks like this. Now then, in this, now, there's a lot of microbes in there. Probably the number of microorganisms here, now the people on Earth, the population, they talk like this, but the number of microbes in it is incomparably greater than the number of people on the planet. But maybe now I'm doing this. If you pick up just this much of that microorganism and revive that bacteria, that's more than Earth's people. Yes, then the total number of microorganisms, if you compare it with the Earth people, then there are now so many microorganisms that it cannot be compared. So this is the new world. Space, what now? Are we now living on this planet called Earth? They are now eating and living in a bottle, sleeping here again, fighting among themselves, fighting for power, and creating their own world. So, as I quietly thought about it now, one more thought occurred to me. So, wouldn't there be hell and heaven here too? Well, usually it's hell now. Now, as far as I know, I'm not going to hell, so I'm not sure. But first of all, what the fire, what stabbed my body, what I can't die properly now. That's hell. Now I remember that. That's a little bit more exposed now. Then it's called heaven, so now it's comfortable without any fuss. There's a lot to eat, and everyone gives for it and stuff like that. Isn't it heaven? Oh, I heard that. But now some people talk like that. The pastor probably knows what he said. Oh, now when he expresses hell, he does. Hungry people. Everyone is gathered. But in front of those hungry people, a very delicious buffet or delicious food has definitely been prepared. Hungry people have to eat it. Why are you starving to death? Well, delicious food is rotten like this, so we have to eat it. But the problem is that hungry person has that tree on his arm. What are we doing now? Now, if you break your arm and do this, there's something to fix it like this. Now it's just right there. This way and that way. So I'm hungry and I want to eat food now, but I can't eat that food. And now I'm going to eat so I don't bend my arms. Here now, like plaster, every tree is like this. So all the people in the area are like that now. The priest said, now I can't eat it. I'm hungry and I'm screaming. Now that's what hell looks like. And then heaven. He looks the same as hell. Oh, everyone there now. Oh, now because of this ignorance, the people in heaven are also like that. And they are also hungry. Prayer is hungry, but corruption is now set in front of us. So now hell or heaven, basically, people are now hungry. People in heaven are hungry, but people in hell are also hungry. But people in hell are now immobile in their arms. And people in heaven are also... The arms are said to be non-moving, but now there's only one difference. They are all the same. But the only difference is that it does something. Now, people in hell are trying to eat each other, but they can't. Yes, I just can't eat. I'm hungry. I can't eat. So they just scream among themselves and say, oh, this is hell, heaven. Oh, you can't bend your arms. But are you using those arms to feed each other? You feed me while eating this, and the other person can't turn that arm towards you. So, again, I'll feed 3 people. Feeding each other is a paradise. Oh, hell is that they tell each other to eat, but because that doesn't work, they just fight with each other and make a fuss. Now, I remember what that pastor said. I read in a book. Okay, but now this one here right now is even worse than the Koreans. There are microbes living here now, and now they are creating the world. Their world is now unfolding here. But now these microorganisms, if they say that hell has been created in this bottle, then they will fight with each other like before and tell each other to eat, but they can't. So in the end, they will die from hunger. Now, if this is a shame, then those things are going to happen now. However, if we were in heaven, we would feed each other, help each other, protect each other, and like this. Now, everyone will live well with these microbes. So what? How do you know if this is heaven or hell? If you do this, you can go in here when you enter Paris. Does it smell like perfume? The smell is over now. Well, it smells like cleaning. It doesn't, huh? We're cool now. Cool smell. If you look at food like this, it tastes a little cool now, huh? When we make cod soup, it's so cool, isn't it? It's a little cool, and then the mountain isn't over, but it's a little cleaner now. Those sour tastes are coming out clean now. If they smell like that, they are heaven. Oh, and if it smells like copper and rotting, and it goes all the way in, it's a field like this, and it smells like this, then this is hell, but us too. When you get in here, it's clean. Well, when you go in, it just becomes clear. My eyes are clearer, my body is clearer, and just smelling this makes me feel so good now, as if I ate it for the first time. So I don't think this is hell. Yeah, it's heaven. So that microorganisms can live well now, the fact that these kids live well here means that they are fermenting well. We are creating various environments to do that. Yes, now this. All the walls are made of wood. Well, now the humidity, temperature, etc. are controlled, and then the sea is now completely covered with carbon mats. Yes, if it's a carbon mat, now the temperature is rising subtly like this. Now carbon, now carbon mats, now very high heat. Things like this can't be made well anymore. But now I have a mild fever. Now those fevers that are rising gently are doing very well. And the electricity bill is not much. What about this carbon mat? Well, the price is now much cheaper than an electric blanket. It doesn't consume much electricity. Then if you set the automatic temperature control, for example, if you set it to 20 degrees or 25 degrees, if you reach that 25 degrees, you will stop it. It stops and then it goes all the way down, and when it reaches 22 degrees, it explodes again. When it's 20 years again, like this now in the area. Middle-aged. So this should be heaven now. If it goes to hell, it will ruin everything, and I can't eat it because it smells like chopping. Then you have to throw it all away. But when it becomes heaven, now we feed each other. Now that it's the world, now that the flavors are bitten and eaten again, now that's it. What can I say? This is what when I have a headache. Now, when I take headache medicine, it gets better, and it's not like this, but I break this one piece by piece. Now, I add this vinegar to water like this. Really, I only drink about 1 bowl of water like this, but then how do you know what you're riding or not? We do it very lightly and eat it now. Now, for example, it's 1 day or 2 days, 1 month, 2 months, 1 on 1, 3 months, 4 months, etc., and it continues to accumulate. Then, in that vinegar, there are microbes in my body. Well, if you look at the book, the factory says that when you eat, you don't eat without that vinegar, because in the past, vinegar seems to be liver now. So when I take vegetables and things like this, I cook liver, eat it and do that. Even at the factory, the story of vinegar comes out. So thousands of years ago, our human ancestors made this vinegar and used it now. And what Now, we are not saying that we have to sell this and this now, but in fact, we are now a company that sells fermented seed bacteria. Oh, if you have this, you will always write it as 100 million. It's just that if you don't have this now, you have to make it respectable, and then the water has to be good. The air should also be good, or the environment should also be good. That's why you have to do it in a very good environment. Good microorganisms will come. But now we're just going to put some really, really good, healthy microbes in here. Since you're putting it in, you don't need a jangdok or anything like that. You can do it in a glass bottle. Because if you put it in a glass bottle, there are now many things outside. Ooh. We block all these bad microorganisms and foreign substances. So no matter how much you use a glass bottles are actually more delicate and clean. But we don't recommend plastic containers much anymore because it is now a mountain of grass. Yes, and because of that acidity, plastic is now good for the human body. They say there are harmless things, but if a bad person does something like this that is bad for his body, that part of the plastic will melt a little because of this acidity. So we don't like plastic now with this 1 year at a time, 2 years at a time. In the same case now, everyone has been fermenting for about 4 or 5 years. So if you leave it for 4 or 5 years through plastic, it won't melt quickly or within a month or two, but 4 or 5 years. If you leave it alone for a while, I think there is a phenomenon where this plastic is eating little by little. So, for example, it is cleaner and better to use glass instead of plastic containers. But when it comes to glass, it now has a drawback. If it's a little wrong, once I break it, all that crowd will fly away. Yes, when you do it with glass, be sure to do it. You have rubber gloves. Now, only one person is made of rubber. I have to do this so that it doesn't slip on the mirror. When I tried my hand, it slipped and I broke 2 bottles. Oh, it's going down. Then I'll break it with a bang, so I'll wear gloves or something to keep it from slipping. I think it would be a good idea to move like this when you use it. And when you buy a bottle, be sure to buy 20 liters. Now, there are 25-liter bottles and 30-liter bottles, but now when it is filled with vinegar, if the 30-liter bottle opens, it will not open. This is 2. It's heavy. Yeah. And then there's a 15-liter bottle. And then there's a 10-liter bottle, but there's nothing for a 10-liter bottle. Now, I have this liter here, and then I'll show you this. This is too small. Yes, this is the same now, but there is nothing for this to stay. Usually, after doing this and that once, that's about it now. Fairies also appear at the beginning. When it comes out, is it a regular bottle? There are probably no 2 or 2.5 bottles. So now that you have this situation, you don't have anything to ask. But now we have tried it as a janitor. Oh, I'm going to do this, but Jang Dok. Poison prevention has its own advantages. Glass bottles have advantages like glass bottles. But try it this way, try it that way, and the company now does all the fermentation experiments. So fermentation experiments now. When it's over, you can do this and this for everyone. You can do it like that. While doing this, we have to teach you this, but our company's original #1 main product is this. The price, then the rest of the vinegar and things like this are incidental, but these people think we are a company that makes vinegar. Of course, now that's food manufacturing, that's that. This distribution is like distribution. Now we are all businessmen. But now the original output is this, and now this is almost 90% or more of the total sales. You can look at it like this, and 10 seconds is 10%. Because now I'm making that with this. People tell me to eat it. Before making it, I'll try it and see if it's good. Let's buy a few bottles and try it now. For those people, you can think of us doing this a little bit now. Okay, I'll stop here for today. Thank you.